Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
Every year in the little bitty northwest Arkansas town of Cane Hill,
The hamlet.
I don't even know if it's big enough to be a hamlet.
It's a hammy.
It's just a one-egg hamlet.
Yeah.
Every year they have, around the Cane Hill College, which is a significant landmark in northwest Arkansas, they have this little festival, and they grow up some sorghum cane, and they squeeze it, and they make sorghum. We're going to call it molasses, just to give you some reference. Most people just call it sorghum,
but sorghum molasses.
But sorghum is also a grain.
That's right.
So we're not making beer with the grain. We're making beer with the sticky stuff, the sorghum,
the sugar,
the molassesy stuff. So first of all, I'm going to take you back to the fall in Cane Hill, Arkansas, to show you how they make sorghum.
Till the answer comes, you gotta keep praying. Keep praying till the answer comes.
We're in Cane Hill, Arkansas, and we're making sorghum to sell to the public. Well, we start out in spring. We put seed in the ground. We have to plow it a little before that, disc it, get it level, and put seed in. If it's set in right, we plow it a time or two during the summer. Try to keep the weeds out as much as we can. And then in the fall, we take all the leaves off, cut the cane, then we bring it down and we run it through a press up here. And after we get it through the press, we have a tub up there on each one of the presses. When they get full, I'll start my pan down here cooking. And I'll cook till we run out of juice. It's about 10 to 1. About 10 gallons of juice makes 1 gallon of sorghum. That's the way they done it a long time ago. We cheat a little once in a while. We've got hoses to run it down here instead of buckets to carry it. A long time ago, they take buckets to carry it down. But now we've got hoses buried underground. We just run it down them. I'm just looking to see that it's boiling right and no dry spots. If I get a dry spot, I've got to get it covered because it'll burn the pan. And I just kind of keep an eye on it. It's starting to boil pretty good, but it ain't quite there yet.
I am skimming the sorghum juice.
For what?
Whenever it boils, the raw juice starts out a real light green color, and as it boils, the chlorophyll gathers and makes a green foam, real dark green foam, and we skim that off, and it makes the juice sweeter. It gets rid of the bitterness of the green foam.
Very nice.
It's a little hard to see in the steam.
One of the hazards of the job.
Yeah, so you can see the foam that I've collected.
So what happens to that?
You can feed it to animals. Technically, it's probably edible. It just doesn't look very appealing, so it normally goes to animals.
Been done here for the last 100 years or so. My grandpa had a mill way back in about 09 or something in there. He'd move it around from farm to farm to cook. And people would get the cane growed. He'd move his pan, his mill down. They'd make the sorghum. He'd get about half of it for making it. Go on to the next farm and do it again.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Well, that was pretty cool.
So there you go. That's how you make sorghum.
Yeah.
And the hardest part about brewing with sorghum is getting it out of the jar. I turned over this bottle of sorghum and drained it all out into a bowl, and I weighed it, and I got a little over a pound. So about 1.1 pounds or 506 grams of sorghum. So I decided to make a Belgian beer with it. So I took 10 pounds of Belgian pills, that's 4.5 kilograms, and 4 pounds or 1.8 kilograms of malted wheat. And I mashed that at 148 degrees Fahrenheit for 90 minutes. I wanted to make a very fermentable wort. And so in the boil, I added 2 ounces or 56 grams of Styrian Goldings hops for 60 minutes. That's all the hops. And then at 30 minutes before the end of the boil, I added that 1.12 pounds or 506 grams of sorghum. Boil it for 30 minutes. And then I added White Labs 500, that's the monastery yeast, a 2-liter starter of that. Starting gravity 1075, ending gravity 1012, and 8.4% alcohol. And that's what we got. So it's kind of my remember this when I used to make Belgian blondes and Belgian brunettes and all that? It's kind of that same recipe, only we're using for the Belgian candy sugar, we're using this sorghum. And I got that as a
kind of a little Abner version.
as a little visual aid here. I got the jar.
With my jar, I made a mead.
Oh yeah, I bought 2 of these. I bought 3 really. I gave one to my stepmother, but and then I gave one to you, and you made a mead, which we will taste on a future episode.
Yeah, we will, and I'm anxious to taste it. I used SO4. Sapale SO4.
It's called Exxon 4 now.
Exxon 4. Well, we won't go there. Cheers.
Cheers. Remember SO?
Yes, I do.
The gas?
Yeah, SO gas, yeah. So this is so you really replaced like the Belgian candy syrup with the sorghum.
Sorghum.
You won't get the sugar diabetes.
Or maybe you will.
Sorghum molasses, it just rolls off the tongue.
It's 8.4% alcohol. Final gravity 1012. So it fermented pretty well.
Ooh.
It's a tasty beverage.
It is a tasty beverage. It's a tasty malt beverage. It's very double-like.
Right.
Double.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if it's dark enough to be a double or a double.
It's not, but it sure
it does,
tasted like it.
It does have that that molassesy kind of character in the end of it. So what do you think?
I think it's great. It's very refreshing. It's more refreshing than other doubles I've had.
Maybe it's a dark triple.
Or dark triple. Yeah, I don't really quite know how to classify it. But let me take this.
Just to make sure. Just another sample.
Well, it's got a really nice, I get like some tropical fruit out of it. Like, I don't know what, just kind of a tropical, it's not kiwi, it's not mango, it's just kind of a
some fruity esters there.
Fruity esters, yeah, I guess
Probably
so.
Coming from the east,
Yeah.
I'm betting.
Yeah.
So in the same way that you get kind of a banana character out of...
But I don't get any banana. That's the thing. It's like I'm getting those kind of citrusy...
Yes, we have no banana.
We have no banana today. Well, that's dang good beer.
I think so, and I think my favorite part about it was going out and learning about this local ingredient that you can only find here in Northwest Arkansas. Of course, other people make it, but this specifically was only here, and it's been squeezed out by a mule.
Well, what hasn't?
I had a nickel every time I'd been squeezed out by a mule.
That's right.
And it's got a little bit of a mule's kick there at 8.4%.
Yeah, this will definitely power you through the day. That's mighty good.
So I'm looking forward to your sorghum mead.
Me too.
And we will get back together to talk about that when it's done.
All right.
There you go. Cheers, everybody. Happy brewing.
Be brewing. You want me to Coke?
Come and visit us on the web at basicbrewing.com. You can find archive lists of both our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs, Extract Brewing and Partial Mashing, Stepping into All Grain, Low-Tech Lagering and Decoction Mashing, Introduction to Wine Kits, and our Basic Brewing Brewer's Logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Write to James at basicbrewing.com, Steve at basicbrewing.com, or just use the contact form on basicbrewing.com.
We were out shifting. You were shifting. We shifted all day.